view. 7 out of 7. And they've come to Ravenhill on its centenary celebration, and they have plundered the points. They have found a way in this second half to get beyond a belligerent Ulster side who promised much in the opening half and probably left a try or two behind them as they went in 13-10 in front at half-time. But Leinster came out galvanised in the second half, scored a couple of lovely tries, were excellent, as Paul Marshall said, all night offset piece. And really it was that try from James Culhane that sealed it at the end. Brilliant shift drive from a line out on 5 metres. And they will maintain their position at the top of the table as we head for Europe. Certainly from a Leinster and Ulster point of view, some big battles on the horizon, but it's job done for RG Snyman and co in Belfast tonight, and they win it in the end. Leinster 27, Ulster 20.
Thank you to Conor and Paul. Well, folks, Leinster, as they usually do, got the job done, Jamie.
Yeah, fairly ruthless come the end of that game. Again, they won't be happy with how they played, but I think they just showed that kind of ruthless efficiency that they have when the opportunity comes. They get down into 22 here, they kind of pound the line, and orchestrate, create that space, and then some really good handling play by them to score as well. But that just shows you kind of, I suppose, the gap between them, where Ulster had a couple of opportunities that they probably didn't take, and they needed that gap coming into the second half, but they didn't have a big enough gap. Leinster were just too ruthless with it.
Yeah, Ulster will rue some of those opportunities. How disappointed will they be, Darren? Is this a game that they could have got across the line in?
I think definitely, yeah. They had plenty of possession, they had plenty of opportunity, they asked a lot of questions for Leinster, from Leinster, and as we touched on before the game, the issue this gives Ulster is, after what was such a promising start, to throw away that game in Cardiff. You've now lost at home to Leinster, one of your biggest rivals, and then you go on to lose Bordeaux, Munster, Connacht, Leicester, Exeter, so it doesn't get any easier at all. So as an Ulster fan, it's hard to be too excited. Like, at the end of the day, you fired a few shots, you've played quite well, but you've been beaten. The league's about accumulating points, and you put that shoe on the other foot. Leinster, it's hard to be that impressed with them outside of the fact every week they show up and just keep getting bonus points and just keep finding a way to get it done. At no stage in the game was I watching them thinking, they're on fire, they're brilliant. At times I actually questioned some of their ambition, some of their defence, but in the end you just have to admire them. That quality showed through in that sort of 10-minute period. They got those 2 scores, and to not only go on to win the game, but to go and have that edge and get that bonus point, you can't really criticise them. Job done.
Yeah, always comfortable. And when you see what they've got coming back from Ireland camp, and then Mr. Geordie Barrett, who was out here flinging the ball around earlier.
Yeah, I think I saw him running the water as well. Yeah, like they're obviously, I think, what did they use? Something 47 players already this season.
47,
57 was the total of players used last year, and we're just coming up to Christmas time, so they've got a lot of depth and a lot of people coming back.
Okay, well, let's get some reaction now. Bernard is with Jack Conan.
Jack, 7 from 7, unbeaten, another Inter-Pro win. How'd you sum up that game?
Oh, we started unbelievably slow. You could see that we had obviously had a few weeks off. I know a few lads have played those A games, but I think we just looked a little bit flat, lacked a bit of energy, weren't overly clinical. Then we got the juices flowing a little bit more in the second half, and we got into it a bit more, but unbelievably sluggish to start. So it's fair to Ulster, they stayed in it, but we owed them one from last year. Like, they beat us home and away last year, so it was a massive week for us. It's great to be back playing, and hopefully now we can springboard into Europe the next 2 weeks. All the boys come back after tomorrow, so yeah, it's great. This is exactly where we wanted to be.
And you personally, obviously, come back from injury, got through 80 minutes there, looked good.
I don't know if I looked too good. The first 20 minutes I thought maybe we should have stayed injured for a few more weeks. I'm ready for this, but I got the second win eventually, and I was grand. But no, great to be back out here. Great with the lads. Myself and Jimmy have been rehabbing hard the last 2 weeks together. I was running rings around him last week, so it's good to be back with him. And yeah, it was decided it's always great to captain Leinster. Now this is my 4th time doing it. I'm loving it, so it's been brilliant.
We see Geordie Barrett with you on the team, but Rabbi Slimani had a massive game, 35 years old, 72 minutes.
Big man just lives for the scrums. Now he's been an unbelievable addition around the place. He's a fantastic character. He's a great man, he's very easy going, loves his bit of football. Dan's his favourite footballer and stuff, so he's always out kicking football around, and you love to see him go to work in the scrums there. He absolutely lives for it, and he was unbelievable today for us. And I think he got through nearly 60, 70 odd minutes, was at 35 odd years of age. It's pretty good going. So I'm delighted for him. Like he obviously hasn't played in the last 2 weeks, so to slot back in and to be impressive as he was today was fantastic. I mean, exactly what we needed coming up here. We know how good Ulster set pieces, so it was brilliant.
Brilliant. Listen, best of luck over the next few weeks. Thanks, Jack.
So before we head away, Jamie, I suppose just to sum it up, for Leinster, things flying in the league. They're top of the pile, 7 from 7. They've got all of these stars coming back, and the European campaign next weekend kicking off at Bristol and then Claremont at home.
Yeah, look, they're going well in the league. They can kind of keep changing up that squad and seem to have the same kind of output from it. But I don't think they've shown the kind of efficiency of play that we've seen from them before, and the slickness of their play. It's still a bit clunky at times. That has to be worked on, and that defence as well. Good teams will try and unpick that kind of blitz defence. So they still got a lot of work on. So that's what you want as a team, and that's what they'll be working on. They'll enjoy this evening, get home, and on Monday morning they'll be back to work, kind of getting better.
Okay, well, before we go, we're going to check on the results and the weekend's fixtures. The champions, Glasgow, are also in action tonight. That's the latest score there. They are up ahead against the Scarlets. Tomorrow, Connacht will host the Bulls in Galway, while Munster will welcome the Lions to Limerick, getting their campaign up and running again following the departure of Graham Rowntree. Quick look at the table. It does have Leinster still on top ahead of Glasgow. Connacht in 5th spot with Ulster in 7th, and Munster down in that second half in 12th place ahead of their games tomorrow.